Well, welcome to another episode of our MACAE member profiles. This is our weekly series highlighting members of the Michigan Adult Community and Alternative Education Association. And we are so happy to be here today with Chad Zitterkoph, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his time as not only a MACAE member, but his time within the field. But first, I wanted to say that you can find this information on our website at www.macae.org. And you can follow us on our social media pages where we're posting all of these wonderful video contributions at MACAE Today on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So without further ado, I'm happy to welcome Chad Zitterkoph to the program. How are you, Chad?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for joining us. So Chad, we started these conversations really as an opportunity to learn more about each other and to highlight the fact that we have a field full of wonderful professionals who are doing great work, to stop and learn more about each other and to really kind of think about what you're working on and to learn more about your programs that you're a part of. So happy that you're here, and you are a member of our board and are the regional representative for which letter? I'm forgetting.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't remember either. I know it's Prosperity Region 6, but I can't remember what letter.
Prosperity Region 6. And by the end of this, we'll make sure that we find the MACAE region for you all. But just great to have you. So Chad, tell us a little bit about how you got started in this crazy, wonderful field that we call adult alternative and community education. How'd you get started and find your way here?
I'll try to make a long story as short as possible. Originally, my plan was dental school. It was not education at all. But then I got into college and decided I don't know if I want to play with people's teeth for the next 30 years. So I liked helping people out with tutoring and all that kind of stuff when I was in high school. And so I thought, well, let's give the education thing a try. So I worked on my education degree and got my certification. I spent my first 12 years teaching science, pretty much any science class you can imagine, but mostly biology. I worked at a charter school in Detroit for a year that no longer exists. I worked for the district I graduated from that I currently work for, Westwood Heights, which is Hamady High School. Started working there, spent 11 years there teaching biology. I even did some U.S. history, some world history, because I got a history minor along the way because I ran into a history professor I liked. And then, let's see, 2015-16, our district decided they had started their own alternative ed program instead of having another district run it in our district. So they started the adult ed program a couple years later. So 15-16, I was at the high school teaching biology. And my wife, who actually is our career navigator for our program at Academy West, she started working with the adult ed, and the lady they had hired to do what I'm doing now, it didn't work, and she wasn't going to stay around. So my wife convinced me and said, hey, you might need to change the scenery. Have you ever thought about coming over to adult ed? And we're now going on, 8 years later, 7 years later, and here I am. So, and not gonna lie, it was a nice change of pace and I really enjoy it. And if I ever had to, I don't want to go back to the high school. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like about that. I want to stay here.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and we love Maria. And so it sounds like really it should be the Zitterkopf adult education building or program at least, right?
Well, and when I first came over, it was spring break of 2016, and it was me and her. That was it. That the entire adult ed staff was us. And I mean, we got a couple more people now, but it's still us and some other people helping out now. So
great to see that growth of the program over time. So how have you found the time with the program? Have you found it to be rewarding looking back on your total history of your career and the different positions you've held, the different levels that you've instructed, the different courses you've taught? How do you enjoy it compared to the rest of that?
I do enjoy it. When I first, like I said, when I came over to adult ed, it was it was kind of a breath of fresh air. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of getting in the high school setting. I was getting a little bogged down with things. And I'm like, okay, do I really want to do this anymore? But it wasn't kids. It was all the other red tape and all that stuff. So when I came over to adult ed, it was like a complete full circle. Like, okay, now I remember why I got into doing this stuff. And not saying that I love the high school kids, but the adults, they had their own stories. They had experiences that the high school kids didn't. And when they came back, they were motivated. And it was just like a whole new atmosphere that was kind of uplifting. So it's been nice. And I don't see myself ever wanting to leave it. So.
That's wonderful. Well, we don't want you to leave it either. You and Maria. So tell us a little, you told us a little bit about your journey to where you are. Tell us a little bit more about your role at Westwood within the adult education program, short of being everything and being Maria's right hand. Tell us about your role and tell us about your program, your students, those that you work with, the kind of the offerings that you have and what's going on there.
Okay. We're part of Westwood Heights School District, but we're Academy West Adult Ed. We have Academy West Alternative, which I don't touch that one. I leave that to them. And then we have the Academy West Adult Ed. We're back in the same building this year. We were in a separate building up until this year, but we're back in the same building now. My title on paper is coordinator/teacher, but like you said, there's short of doing everything. I do all the grants. I'm the mayor's person. I do more of the administrative stuff, but I also do the teaching side of things, especially when it comes to math. I'm not a math teacher, but I'm the one who knows how to do it, so they come to me. But trying to think where else you want me to go with that.
What was that?
Said I lost my train there. Where do you want me to go with that?
And mayors would be the adult education reporting system, right? Yep. For those that maybe don't know what that acronym is. What about your number of students that you kind of serve? What do your classes look like in terms of morning, afternoon, evening, virtual, in person?
We offer, we do ABE, high school diploma completion. We do offer high school equivalency. We only do GED testing, not GED and HiSAT, just GED. But honestly, most of our students that come to us are looking for their diploma completion. We average probably at like last year in the reporting system in Mayors, we had 225-ish students. But we typically have probably 175 to 180 that are really active. We're actually in our region, I think we're the third largest. And then, so like I said, we have most of ours are coming for high school diploma. We usually average somewhere between 40 and 50 graduates a year. Last year we had 47 and 46 of those were diploma completers. So most of our student body is city of Flint residents, not all, but at least the surrounding areas, but we do get occasional students that come from further away. Our program is pretty much just daytime. We're classroom. It's since we use the Edmentum Plato courseware for our major, all of our classes and that. So
it's for them, right?
Yeah, it's great for them because they have the online thing, but at the same time we're like, hey, you can do virtual, but you still got to come in. So yeah. we do have students still come in, but we do everything we can to work with students. We understand they got jobs. I mean, they're adults, they got kids, they got jobs, they got all kinds of things going on. So it's not like you have to be, we don't have, you got to be here at 8:30 and you can't leave till 11. It's, hey, we open the door up at 8:30 and the door closes at 3 and you can kind of filter in whatever fits your schedule. And then they can work from home extra time on top of that. So,
which is so important, I think, for those outside of the field of adult alternative and community education, that student-centered design focus is a different model, than the regular K-12 system. So I think that's important that you're highlighting that. I think it's also important that the district that you're in supports this programming and knows how it contributes to the district as well. So thank you for sharing a little bit about that and about, just you're interconnected with all of that. So as you look kind of as this program year, as we come out of a turbulent time, I'd say, in the pandemic, and maybe are returning to more, let's hope, stable times. What does the program year look like ahead for you all? What are kind of some of the things that are top of mind and what you're kind of looking forward to this year?
We're hoping to get back to, I don't want to say normal because I don't even know what normal is anymore. But back to a somewhat more consistent flow to things. Us moving over the summer kind of made a little rough, but we're getting there. So I just want to see students enjoying coming in. We're very big about making sure our adult ed, we consider it family. And my wife and I, Maria, we joke all the time, like I'm an only child. She has one sister. Her sister doesn't have kids. So our kids don't have cousins. And we don't have this big, huge family. So our adult ed is our family, and we treat it that way. Students, when we come in, we tell them, hey, this is family. We want you to feel comfortable. So we're hoping just to kind of get people back in the door and not just a name on a piece of paper or on a computer screen that we don't really ever interact with other than digitally. Hoping this year we can get those people back in the door and we can get that family connection. Not that we ever really lost it, but get it more back to tight knit like it was. So I think that's our big hope for the year. I'd love to see us get even more students because we've consistently gone up. The first year or so, we only had around 100 students. Like I said, last year we were over 200, and I'd like to be 250 this year would be great. So we'll see where it goes from here.
That's wonderful. And that steady growth over time is so important, especially because the need is so great across the state, for our services and the important programming that we do. And I just want to say, I think that's so wonderful that we were mentioning about that family aspect that is what draws people in, right? To feel that these programs that they're engaging with, that they're going to be helpful to them, that they're going to be there for them when things get difficult, that we're going to help walk people over the finish line, whether that's in graduation or whether that's finishing the high school equivalency, whatever it is. That's so important. So thank you for sharing that aspect of it. So what are you looking forward to with engaging with other MACAE members in your region or across the state this year? I know I'm looking forward to the fall conference, being in person again this year, but how about you? What are you looking forward to?
Well, and like you said before, I mean, I am the board representative for our region. Still can't remember the letter.
I just looked it up. Region E as an excellent.
Okay. I was like, it's either E or H, but I can't remember which one. I just remember 6. But being our regional representative, I just want to make sure that myself, I'm kind of that portal for our region to get things to MACAE, bring up issues, anything that needs to be done. But at the same time, I want to be that person that takes things from MACAE back. Like if somebody couldn't do the MACAE check-ins that week or whatever, if they have any questions, instead of bombarding you with things, because it's not like you don't have a million things going on already, I can be that person that they can go to. And I know, like our regional meetings, we always have a little MACAE section, like what's the updates, and so that's me now.
So appreciate that, and you're such a great advocate and a voice for that area of the state, especially. And so our members know that you're their representative, and I hope they'll reach out to you. How can they get in contact with you, Chad?
Probably the best way is to email me. My email is just, it's going to sound kind of funky. It's CZITTERK@HamidyHawks.net. And Hamady is HAMADYHAWKS for HamidyHawks.net. That'd probably be the easiest way, because with it being a family thing, a lot of times if there's students in the classroom and the phone rings, student in the classroom comes first. So you can leave a message if you call, but email is probably better.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that information so that folks can be in touch with you. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to do this. I know I've learned much more about you, and I've known you now for several years and working very closely on our board. And I wanted to share also that Chad, as a part of part of being on the board, has been helping us put together our strategic plan for this association to help lead our statewide efforts. Anything you want to share about that process? We had a great board retreat this summer.
Yeah, sorry, thinking about all that, I've looked at things from a whole new perspective the last couple of years, because when I came into adult ed, I knew nothing. So MACAE has been, and not to sound like a public service announcement here, but MACAE has been that driving force for me. Like, if I needed to know something, I came to MACAE. So it's been really nice. The strategic plan, it's always nice to know there's a vision. Being part of that, it's helping put that together. I know this year I'm going to help out with data stuff. We're going to see, I'm all about trying to get that data going. But it's like I said, MACAE has helped me. So I'm hoping now, being a bigger part of MACAE, I can help out people that come into adult ed that are like, I don't know what adult ed's all about. Maybe I can be that one where you guys help me, I can now help them.
Absolutely. So, thank you for sharing that. The community of practice is so important. And I hope others will find that being a part of the association brings them information and that interconnectedness as well, just like you. So thank you for sharing that. And I appreciate the PSA. Well, thank you, Chad, for taking some time with us. Again, we want to let you know that this will be posted on our website as well as on our social media. And we will be back soon with another member profile, profiling yet again, another wonderful person within the larger MACAE Association. But just want to thank Chad Zitterkoph for his time today. Thank you so much, Chad.
Thank you.